My name is Kelly Belcher, student number 470440389. This recording will be used for the purpose of my education and training only and will be used, viewed and stored per TAFE Queensland's privacy policy, which is available on the TAFE Queensland website and only accessed by TAFE Queensland staff. Do you, William and Andy, provide your consent to be recorded in this activity and for TAFE Queensland to use this recording for education and training purposes?
I consent.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, William and Andy, for attending this meeting about our compliance. Thanks for joining today's compliance meeting. We've got a few key things to run through, mainly the new trainer and assessor compliance procedure, updates to legislative and regulatory requirements, and finalising our meeting minutes. Does that sound okay with everyone?
Absolutely, Kelly.
Yep, all good, ready to get started.
Oh, alrighty. So the first item on our agenda is establishing a new procedure using a checklist. First, we're establishing a new trainer and assessor compliance checklist. This checklist will help us consistently monitor meeting all relevant requirements, such as qualification currency, industry currency, vet currency, mapping documents, assessment validation, and compliance with the standard for RTOs 2015. I've emailed the draft to both of you. Have you received it?
Yes, thanks. It came through earlier.
Yeah, it came through before.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, thank you. Well, let's walk through it together. Do either of you have any feedback at all? Andy, let's start with you. Did you have any feedback?
Yeah, I like that includes expiry reminders and vocation competency evidence. That's something we've missed.
Okay, fantastic. And what about you, Will? Did you have any feedback?
Yeah, building on what Andy said there, the annual PD log section will really help us track the compliance for audit purposes. So we should be good on that front.
Okay. Excellent. All right. The third point now is identifying legislative and regulatory requirements. Let's identify the main legislative and regulatory requirements that apply to trainers and assessors. So these would include the standards for RTOs 2015, particularly clauses 1.13 to 1.16, the vet quality framework, training package requirements, industry licensing, regulatory requirements where applicable, relevant state and federal work legislations. That's all I came up with. Do either of you had anything else to add?
Maybe the assessment requirements in each unit, especially the rules of evidence and principles of assessment.
Okay, yeah, all right. So just reiterating, that was the assessment requirements in each unit, especially the rules of evidence and principles of assessment. Was that right, Andy?
Yeah, correct.
Yep, cool. Okay. And what about you, Will?
Yeah, I'd probably just add the companion volume implementation guides for the training packages.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's a good point. Now, identifying changes and recording documentation accessed. Now, I've recently reviewed the updated companion volumes and ASQA's latest regulatory updates. The biggest change is the renewed emphasis on trainers demonstrating both current industry skills as well as current vet knowledge. I've recorded all the documentation sources in our compliance register. Do any of you have any feedback on that?
Yeah, that was a good idea. That's definitely going to help us reference the exact documents during the internal audits.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well. Thanks, Andy. Kind of just makes me feel like I'm on the right track. All right, so the next point is how the new procedure will apply to the work environment. The checklist will be completed quarterly and stored in each trainer's compliance file. It'll also guide our preparation for validation sessions and internal audits. What are your thoughts? Will?
I think integrating it into our monthly staff meetings will definitely help keep the compliance front of mind for our staff.
Yeah, sure. And Andy?
Yeah, linking it to our LMS, so that the reminders are automated.
Okay, sure. That's a good point too, actually, the reminders for the learning management system. Yeah. All right, so next point is the application to the trainer and assessor job role. For your roles as trainers and assessors, the checklist will ensure that you maintain vocational competency, keep upgoing industry engagement, keep up ongoing industry engagement, record PD activities, validate assessments, maintain current versions of training products. Does that make sense to everyone? Andy, how are you going?
Yeah, that makes sense. It supports both training delivery and assessment compliance.
Okay, fantastic, good. Now, the next point, correct terminology and ethical considerations. Do either of you have anything that you'd like to contribute? Will, let's start with you.
Yeah. I think we should also acknowledge the ethical considerations, like ensuring assessment integrity, avoiding conflicts of interest, and upholding the principles of fairness, flexibility, validity, and reliability.
Yeah, absolutely. Transparent decision making and ensuring all assessment judgments are evidence-based, key ethical responsibilities.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of feedback there with you, Andy. Was that the transparent decision making and ensuring all assessment judgments are evidence-based?
Yeah, that's a key ethical responsibility.
Okay. All right, cool. Just making sure I'm understanding that. Thank you. All right. So before we move on, I just want to check that we're all on the same page. Andy, could you summarize your understanding of the new compliance procedure?
Sure. We'll be using the lead checklist quarterly to ensure we meet all regulatory requirements. We'll maintain evidence of competencies, PD, and industry engagement, and ensure assessments remain valid and aligned with the training package.
Yeah, great summary. It sounds like you've got it there. Anything that you'd like to add, Will?
Yeah, just that we'll integrate this information into staff meetings and link it with the LMS for reminders.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. That shows a good understanding. All right, so using questioning techniques, I've got a few questions to make sure the process works for everyone. Those would be, what barriers do you think might stop trainers from completing the checklist on time? Can you give me an example of when previous processes didn't work well? And if we had an audit next month, what evidence would you want to improve first? So, Andy, let's start with you.
Yeah, time management is always a big barrier, and previously reminders haven't been consistent.
Okay, all right. And Will?
Yeah, if an audit was next month, I'd update my industry engagement log and assessment mappings first.
Okay, all right, sure. Now, collection of feedback. Have you guys sent through those assessment to the portfolio of evidence, particularly Part D, where we had the feedback?
Yeah, I've just sent one through before this meeting.
Okay, yeah, I got yours. And Will, I think I got yours as well. You emailed yours, didn't you?
Yeah, I emailed it earlier.
Okay, thank you. So what I noticed is there were a few gaps picked up in both trainer and assessor skills and compliance knowledge. And the improvement options were not noted, but overall, everything was rated as fair. The opportunities for development were recorded, though they could use a bit more detail to clearly show how each gap will be addressed.
Yeah, mine's completed as well, and I agree with that.
Okay, fantastic. All right, going on, discussing feedback and ongoing compliance requirements. Thanks from your feedback. I noticed that both of you want more structured PD opportunities, especially around assessment practices. Andy, what would you say?
Yeah, PD workshops on evidence quality and assessment mapping would be great.
Okay, yep. So you want evidence quality and assessment of assessment mapping, yep. And Will, what about you?
Yeah, and trainings on updates to the standards will definitely help us stay compliant.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll arrange PD sessions before the next quarter for ongoing compliance, including keeping evidence current, participating in validation and reviewing those changes into training products as well. Before we wrap it up, I just wanted to finalise the compliance meeting minutes. So the procedures approved, yeah, we're all across that. The checklist is to be implemented quarterly. The documentation access would be the companion volumes and the ASQA updates. I have collected both of your feedback. The PD actions will be scheduled, and we'll probably review this in the next 3 months. Is everyone happy with that?
Yeah, that looks accurate.
Yeah, agreed.
Accurate, yeah. Okay, excellent. Well, look, that's about it, guys. I really appreciate your input. I'm happy to close this meeting if no one has anything else to add.
Great. Thanks, Lou.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.